Come on in the class. Come on in the class, y'all. You hear the trumpets playing you in. You know you need to get to your desk, get your pen and your pad out because it's time for ring theory. We're about to dive into, hey, how you succeed in WWE. Who's gonna have a hot boy and hot girl summer? We're gonna talk about double or nothing. We're gonna talk about the Owen Cup Heart winners and who's gonna win those cups. Who's going to All In to face for those championships? Who's going to be those champions walking into All In at Wembley? We're going to talk about that and more this week with maybe a little backlash as well to hold you together. But I'm not doing that alone. I got a team of folks working with me, but we all on the drive for 500. That's 500 Patreon subscribers. That's 500 YouTube subscribers. So here at Nefarious Media Network, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know that, hey, whenever we're going live, if we're doing a live stream of WrestleMania Night 1 or 2, go back and watch that. We got that on track for you. Hey, we're going to do potential future watch-alongs. We got other shows. We got the Parlay. We got Super Salad. We got so many different shows on the Patreon and on the YouTube channel. So follow along. A lot of diverse voices, a lot of diverse perspectives. But hey, this is all what we about here at Nefarious Media Network. Getting turned up, commentary, giving you some honest feedback and some fun jokes with it. But with that being said, like I said, I'm not doing it alone. And so my name is Downtown Brown, and I got with me today, hey, who's that? It's the end of the school year. You know that means we gotta have somebody here to help with those grades. And so we gotta have the professor. Professor, will you join me at the front of the class, if you will?
Oh, hey, what's up, man? Just chilling. Looking forward to today's show. Looking forward to starting a new era here at Nefarious. So let's get it popping.
Hey, man, a new era, and that's something so big that hey, we've been doing this for
Mhm.
a whole year now. Starting
Mhm.
last April was the first ring theory, and now we have come to full circle for a whole year. And I did not do that alone. I did that with my tag team partner, my partner in crime. He was originally, when we started this, he was upper mid card. He was working his way up, doing winning his matches and doing his thing. But now
Mhm.
he done went to live shows. He's done press conferences. He's done other podcasts and guest appearances. This man is the man. I'm talking about main event Jay Lacey. Where you at, man?
What's going on, guys? Man, I am so glad it's Friday. I'm so glad that it's been a year. It don't even feel like a year, bro. But
Mhm.
man, happy to be here on the Nefarious Network doing our thing, theorizing on these graps and everything like that. So let's get into it.
For sure, for sure. And so, man, let's talk about WWE because
Mhm.
the cuts have been just making me sad and depressed. And one of the cuts that just made me the saddest was just sitting there thinking about the machine guns. And I was like, this should have been a surefire win with the machine guns going to WWE. They've cut their teeth, they're veterans, just they don't have the size. But as a tag team, we could for sure have them doing great things. And to see those singles runs that both had, becoming world champions in their own individual rights. Okay, maybe we might not get that on the main roster, but you could eventually send them down to NXT, back and forth, whatever you want with these people. There's so much potential that was just let go
Mhm.
from all those people. And why did we not capitalize on that potential? What is the formula to succeed in WWE? And so to kick off the show today, I'm gonna share my little hypothesis, man. And so rock with me because it's a two-part hypothesis, but it takes place with you have to go to NXT. The path is NXT 2.0, that is. And I say that to say that we could talk about the old black and gold era, and a lot of people went that path and came to the main roster, and a lot of people did not succeed or had a lot of harder roads to succeed through. Even a Bailey, a byproduct of the system, a surefire babyface on the main roster struggled as a babyface to be understood. And so I don't think we have those same issues in this era, but I think we are getting lazy. I think WWE's biggest issue overall is laziness. We do something and then we get to a point and we say, we did it and we're going to stop evolving. We're going to stop pushing the button forward. And so I think NXT is the pathway to help people, whether you're a new person or whether you're somebody from the outside, to follow through. And so I got examples of that. I'm talking about, look at Tiffany over the years. Tiffany, straight from the main roster up, in that couple of months, pretty much was over. Into weird ways, and to the point where they're now throwing her in an Elimination Chamber match for the world title. Though they know they're not going to put her in that spot yet. And she's one of the most over people in Australia in Perth when that match is going down. And so look at a Braun Breaker, who I think the vision has kind of stunted some of his overness and his growth. But that IC title reign, I think my man was on the path. When he was terrorizing Pierce, like, I'm just going to run over everybody until you give me what I want. I think that Braun, he was doing good, and he was over pretty much from the start. A Trick, an Oba, a Javon, a Sol Ruka, Toxic Attraction. Look at and you could say that's a post-Wrestlemania crowd, but that wasn't in Vegas. And so look at that. Looking at Ethan Page. Y'all, I wasn't there. I wasn't there at the NWA podcast. Y'all was spitting on that concert, And it did mighty fine to me. I don't think my man really suffered through concert. I think I was waiting for a nuke to go off with Joe Hendry, and I was like, oh hey, they know him, they willing to clap with him, they willing to give him a chance. And I've watched main roster crowds not be willing to give people who you think are surefire people a chance. Look at Evil right now. Just recently debuting on NXT. Now he's somebody I want to see where we go with Evil moving forward, but I think the surefire path is NXT. Now I think the folks who have skipped NXT, the Motor City Machine Guns, I think they suffered for it. Aleister Black, and you might say, but he did that. He went to the main roster. Shouldn't he just go back to the main roster? Yeah, but maybe we also reestablish him because he came back from the black and gold era, and that's a different time period. You can say the WWE audience has evolved and changed to some degree. That NXT audience, they have waned now over these years, and so we got to reestablish him and maybe sending him down to the place that made him almost a Stone Cold Steve Austin-esque character. That when he gets taken out and he comes back, he's kicking and stumping down everybody in the whole performance center. Like that's nuts. But we don't ever get that version of Aleister ever again, basically, since NXT. Rusev is now starting to get back to where he needs to be, but has been suffering. And you almost forgot the man was there at the company for a good minute because you barely even saw him. There was no evolution. There was no follow-through. And he skipped NXT. Now, I got a couple examples who I say are smooth. I got a Jade Cargill. Right now, smooth. But I think we are hitting a point where if she's at a crossroads, if you will, with the Bone Thugs behind her. If she does not evolve, I think she then goes down a road where she's now going to start pivoting down and suffering. Royce Keys, they're doing their approach with the different video packages and the podcasts. Cool, great. The Andre the Giant Battle Royale win. Cool, great. I see him doing some decent work on SmackDown. Let's see where he goes from there. The Machine Guns had the titles off the rip when they came in. They did good at the beginning and still suffered. Aleister was beating Randy Orton, and Randy was going to face the WWE champion in the main event. Like, they were not pushing these people, but like, it's what's going on. And then look at the MFTs. It's almost a whole different thing than the OG bloodline when we had that in the 2022s and 23s. The MFTs feel nothing like that. That's great value bloodline if I've ever seen it. Like,
and I hate to spit on great value. You being nice with it.
And I love great value. I hate to spit on the good name of great value. I love the great value brand. But with that said, like, I think you have to go through NXT because I think NXT we talked about it yesterday when we were just kind of shooting the breeze. But it's if you look at the NXT 2.0 logo, it's literally a blank palette. It's like a white canvas, and you can just throw paint at it. And I know that's evolved, and it's now white with gold, but or it's now it's black and silver with white. Like at the end of the day, you go down to NXT to evolve, to grow, to change, and to create something brand new that the company itself can invest in. Then you go up to the main roster, but then here's the second part and the most key part to it, you have to have evolution. When Terry had a friend betray him for the world title, the world showed up at WrestleMania 3 to see how he was going to respond to that, how the Hulkster as a character was going to show up in that situation. When Roman finally put down that vest, let go of the shield that was protecting him, and finally became wiser for it with a wise man on his side, everybody actually started to show up and put their ones up for the man. Hey, when you continually feel slighted and disrespected, when somebody's not coming for you man to man for the belt, when they try to get around your opportunities and whatnot, then you have a Macho Man Randy Savage have to put pause on somebody. You have a Becky Lynch have to switch it up on Charlotte when she knows she's getting up in the way, and she should not be. These are evolutions, character evolutions that these people. Cody just came into the company. It wasn't just I need a story. He finished the story, and after finishing the story, the man had to have his new story was his friends betraying him to finish their story sometimes at his own expense. And how does he react to that? There's big character evolutions over here. But when we don't have that for Carmelo Hayes, when he comes up and he's the #1 draft pick, then he suffers for it in the long run when we just let him fall behind. So to me, the path is NXT. Then you have to evolve the character, and you have to have a true investment to have big character pivots. People love Walter White because he changes throughout that show, and you watch a man devolve into the character that he becomes. You watch Game of Thrones because of Jon Snow, because of the Starks, and because of everybody else, all the families and the drama and how they change and move through everything. Stagnant characters, you get bored of stagnant characters. There's a reason why Hulk got booed out of there by a period. He stopped changing. He stopped growing. It's the reason why people get tired of Chris Jericho at times, because his evolutions are not what people want to see. What do y'all think? What do y'all hear in my opinion? I've been talking too much. I want to hear the audience's opinion. Jay, I'm gonna throw it over to you.
You said something earlier, and it's very key. I think it's evolve. The developmental NXT is one aspect of it. I think that they need to use or leverage the other resources that WWE has. I mean, you've got Evolve, you've got NXT to basically sanitize or WWEize these talents that are coming in. And you're right, to a certain extent. Like for every Trick Williams that you have coming out, you do have a Lyra Valkyria, right? So yeah, she came through with a bunch of hype, but she fell off. But she's starting to get her wings back, so to speak. That's a horrible transition.
Hey.
A corny transition. Dang. But I think that you have, in order to succeed in WWE, you have to, number one, they have to have a plan for you, you know, and you have to have the machine want to, you know, utilize you in their vision. Like, I didn't think that Danhausen would have this sort of success this quickly. You know, he's a character. He's got something already built in. And I didn't think WWE would tap into, you know, his brand of wrestling / comedy / entertainment. But they leaned all the way in, and he's cashing checks. You know what I'm saying? And good for him. And he didn't really have to change too much of who he is for them to buy into it, right? So, yeah, a path to, you know, if you're an independent, you know, wrestler, you got a little bit of buzz on you. Yeah, going through WWE's NXT would be one thing. But again, for everybody that does that, there are other examples that we as fans lose, a little bit of momentum, a little bit of, I don't want to say a little bit of love for, because I mean we do appreciate the artwork and talent that these athletes do. But I'll give you another example. Ricky Starks / Ricky Saints. This brother had a whole bunch of buzz coming in, like, hey, he's gone from AEW. Can't wait till he pops up on SmackDown or Raw or whatever. He pops up on NXT as Ricky Saints, and we was like, yo, that's gonna be different. Ethan Page got to keep his name. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. There's if the machine believes in you, and if you prove that you are going to add to their bottom line, which we all know they're about the dollar. They could care less about the hardcore fan talking about WWE. If you could add to their bottom line, they're going to put the machine behind you and they're going to push you. And shoot, for the people, just to double back on what you said about the 24 talents that got released, dude, you got AAA. You could have used somebody there. I mean, dude, we know Aleister Black ain't going to go back to AEW. You can't. That bridge is burned. It's a wash. He's not going back there. But he could pop up in a AAA. He could pop up there. I mean, that's where y'all been hiding Omos. You know what I'm saying? You got so many other things that you could be pushing, and if you want other wrestlers to get seasoned and developed, you've got Evolve. You've got you got TNA. You've got a partnership with them that you can rely on, right? So I just think that in order for to succeed in WWE, you do have to. They talking about management in TKO has to believe that you will add to their bottom line, which is the money. So, Chris, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just don't understand what WWE is at the moment, and I'm not really sure that they themselves understand it, because it's just all over the place. Like, I don't like. I think NXT, for the longest time, it really wasn't even a path to the main roster for at least the men. I think the women fared a lot better developing in NXT than the men did, because a lot of those men would end up in AEW, so it's just like a lot of these, it was like it almost seemed like they were a feeder system for AEW once AEW became a thing. And then, I mean, there've been a couple success stories, I guess, from NXT, but even the success stories, I don't necessarily even attribute that to NXT. I either attribute it to Florida Championship Wrestling or ROH, and then them going to NXT and just being the best things on that roster. As far as like with Braun Breaker, I think some people misunderstood me a couple of weeks ago. I do think my Braun Breaker is a future main eventer. The only problem that I see with him is it's kind of like a Wardlow situation in AEW, is they allowed Braun Breaker to become stale. And then on top of that, they're just guys that debuted on the main roster that are way more over than he is before they have to even do anything, and like Trick and Oba, and even Trick. I'm not losing faith in Trick. I'm starting losing faith in the WWE machine, because I was watching SmackDown not last week, but sometime this week. I was watching the clips, and like it seems like they're refusing to put Sami Zayn in the definitive heel role and Trick in the definitive face role. What they got going on right now is just confusing as all hell. So hopefully they get their shit together on that. Let me think. I think the Royce Keys, when he first debuted, and then the Royal Rumble, when he first debuted, I thought it was I don't think it was the best debut. And then they kept him off of TV for a little while. When they re-debuted him, I didn't think that was the best either, because he would have been a post-WrestleMania debut for that. But they did put some care into his video packages, and they showed him doing some backstage stuff with Solo. They've got that Bay Area connection, so that was cool. The only problem with Royce is, and I'm not talking just about the black guys, there just seems to be too many guys in that company at the moment that fulfill the role that a Royce Keys fulfills. You know, like they've got, like you got Oba, who I would consider a monster, Trick, who not necessarily a monster, but he is kind of like a big guy with like a coolness factor to him. And then you got Braun Breaker, you got Bronson Reed, you got what's the guy's name? Rusev to a lesser extent. I don't know if WWE's that. I think they want him there as a utility guy. But yeah, they just got too many people there fulfilling the role of Royce Key. So he is gonna have to figure something out for himself. And WWE is going to have to figure something out for him too. And this isn't me saying he's going to be a failure or going to be a glowing success. It's just, they're going to have to figure out a role for him fast. And right now they just don't seem to have that. And look, and we've already talked about all the corporate shit in that company. Like, and I'm sure we'll harp on it in this episode, but the company is a profits over everything company at the moment. Nothing wrong with being a bottom line business. You need money to thrive, but their shit is just gratuitous. I heard Ariel Hawani, who I don't always agree with, but the truth is one of those things that don't care who tells it. And he said that he described WWE the best, especially WrestleMania weekend. It's a soulless company. It really does feel that way. It just doesn't feel like a company with a soul in it. That's my spill on that.
I agree with you on that. You know, I understand business. I mean, I've got my MBA in business management, right? So
Right, yeah.
I understand, but at some point there's a tipping point, and we're going to start seeing the effects or impacts of it, of the WWE going so commercial and pushing away their hardcore fans that live, breathe, buy the merch, go to these shows, and they're pricing out their core audience. They've priced them out. You know what I'm saying? Case in point, we got Gerard right here as case study number one, right?
Right. Yeah.
But at some point, I mean, I understand you want to make a dollar, you want to squeeze as much juice out of that lemon as much as you can. But right to your point, you said it's gratuitous. It is. And I dropped Gerard and I had this conversation yesterday, as a matter of fact, talking about the WWE. You said it was soulless, and I agree with that in terms of they've become too big of a monolith that I made the analogy, like you have your independent, you know, I love rap music, love hip hop, right? You discover a group and you listen to their mixtape, and they come out with a fire mixtape after mixtape after mixtape, and you're like, dang, they need to be signed, right? And so they sign on with the big major label. We'll just call it Def Jam, for instance, right? They get on Def Jam, and Def Jam is like, hey, we know you can spit fire, but you know what? We need to sell records. And what we gonna do here is have you just get on one track, spit your fire. But the other 14 tracks, we need to mellow it out. We need to make it really, really pop. We need to sell tickets, right? We need to sell albums. You're gonna go on tour anyway. So they basically, this underground artist has signed away their rights, gone to the big show, and then they become this product, right?
Right.
It's so sanitized, and that's exactly what the WWE is with their roster. Like, pluck a Seth Rollins out of WWE and put him in AEW. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah,
He going nuts.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what you made me think of when you were talking about the rapper that goes corporate. Remember that guy that used to be on 106 in Park every Friday when they did the freestyle stuff? His name was
Jen.
Jen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
MC Jen.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Like he was like really good as a freestyler, the independent rapper. And then when he signed to Universal and went on Rough Riders, the album just wasn't what you anticipated it being. And that's kind of like
Ricochet.
what I see with a lot of these cats. It's just like you would think when they go to WWE, they like you have all these hopes and expectations for them. Like with what Gerard was saying earlier about the Motor City Machine Guns, I thought, especially since they don't have a great tag team division at the moment. I actually think the males tag team division is probably one of the weakest parts of WWE. And they got two tag team champions, sets of men's champions, and I don't even see why one set of men's championships are necessary at the moment, much less two. And I thought that the Motor City Machine Guns really fulfilled that role of being like a good tag team, because that's what the 80s and the 90s had. And this isn't just the harp on even the 2000s and the 2010s to a lesser extent. They had good tag teams that you just thought of. Like when you thought of tag team wrestling, you thought of Harlem Heat, you thought of the Hart Foundation, you thought of Legion of Doom, you thought of the Hardys, you thought of Edge and Christian. When you thought tag team wrestling, and WWE is just like, I don't even know who the champions are at the moment. Who does
The
SmackDown?
Vision. The Vision's on the Raw.
It's
And then Truth and Priest.
Yep.
All right, Truth and Priest. Okay, yeah. So that again, a makeshift team with Truth and Priest. A team that it just makes no fucking sense. Is like you put these guys together because Truth used to think he was in the bloodline, and you need something for Priest to do. I'm sure they get along with each other. They could put up with each other when they go to autograph signings, and I mean it's a good to have a rapport with people. But I don't know what their purpose is. And then the Vision, I got nothing to say about them. They're there. It's not even that I don't like them in the role. It's just who wants those belts from those guys is what I'm trying to understand, and I just don't know it.
I mean, the Street Profits, hopefully, and they hopefully
Yeah,
just
yeah,
take them right off.
hopefully, yeah. I guess so. The Street Profits,
But then
yeah.
hopefully they get what they need, which is evolution. They have not had evolution. They just keep spinning in that circle. And it's cool to have, like, they start to tease on that, oh, it's you costing me, or like maybe I got to turn my back on you with the Wyatts, but like they've never touched back on that or really evolved anything since. They had these different promos that either you would see online through Montez that he was shooting or that they had on SmackDown. But now we're not really touching on those anymore. It's like, why are we not evolving these characters? And I think the business aspect, I mean, it's just laziness. It comes back to laziness, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to use, because like we got harp on all the people of color. I'm going to use one example on here. That look at Tiffany Stratton right now. Reactions are waning. The time is ticking. Why is that? She has not evolved. She has not become anything more than she was in NXT. Mm-hmm. If not lesser. Because at least she had the daddy's little like princess character in NXT. She kind of dropped that when she got to the main roster for the most part. And it's just been strictly Tiffy time. And that's all she needed to do. And people were, hey, Tiffy time, to the point where we're just gonna make you a baby face at this point with the crowd change you.
Mm-hmm.
But we're really never ever gonna write anything character-wise that makes you sound like a baby face. We're not gonna give you any character evolution to become more of a baby face. Besides having a random friendship with Trish Stratus. Like, cool, whatever, great. But you didn't do anything with her. Then after the world title, you didn't do it. She just disappeared. She came back to the Rumble. She's done nothing but then kind of have this weird feud with Julia and Kiana James, and now she's got the US title. Mm-hmm. Cool. But who is she? What is she? What, like, tell me what's going on with her as a character. What is she feeling? And at least I know how Cody be feeling all of the time.
Right,
Cody
exactly.
Be emoting, crying, happy, sad, mad, screaming. Like, he's ever changing.
Right. No, he's one of the best characters at that, Gerard, I think.
Look at Becky Lynch. She can ever change, and she's always give me something. What are you not get? Like, why are we not putting the foot behind it? And then when we don't put the foot behind them, we point the finger at them and blame them. And then I hear you, Jay. I hear you, Jay. I wanted him to be Ricky Starks too. But you know why he's Ricky Saints? Because the homeboy Cody remembers his battle to get his last name back. He said, hey, you know what, bud? In case things don't work out here, don't sign everything over. So yeah, an Ethan Page probably would say, yeah, I'm signing everything over, because at this point it's do or die. This is my one shot at WWE and I'm riding it. Ricky's saying, hey, this is my shot, but I'm also not throwing away my shot.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't be able to take his name. The reason why they were able to do that with Cody Rhodes is Cody Rhodes debuted in the WWE system as Cody Rhodes. So what they did was they trademarked it. Rhodes isn't his real last name. Runnels is his last name. So they were able to trademark that before he used that name anywhere else. I don't think Starks will run into that problem, because he's got video proof, because trademark law is very like funny. Like, if you could prove that you were doing something before a company start making money off of it, it becomes a little bit easier to work. Even with when WWE bought ECW, the reason why they had Bubba Ray become Bully Ray and all that bullshit when he left is because when WWE bought ECW, it was interpreted that they bought ECW, including all the characters and the likenesses of the characters that ECW owned. So I just want to, so I think that's like the Starks thing. I understand they're never gonna own that name for him.
No, not own it, but like, if he leases that name out for a 10-year period to WWE, let's say, and he was to be gone in 5, then he'd be without his last name for 5 years, and he'd just be Ricky. What's up? It's Ricky has come to the scene. But at the end, he just has the saxophones playing. He just comes out the saxophones the whole time. What an interest music! I'd rock with it all day long. But hey, protecting yourself, because this is a business, and so we got to protect ourselves because this is the business. And so I also look at that as their laziness as a bit. They're trying to profit margin. If you're willing to cut people, look at this fact. I know you say, hey, we got this relationship with AAA. We got this relationship with TNA. You know what I also saw? I saw Ridge Holland go down as a WWE employee and get hurt not on their television, to not benefit anything from that. And so, you know what? But you know what I see? We can have a Nick Nemeth come on up here whenever we need him, and he can still be a TNA, and they can handle the cost and all the insurance and the liability parts of that. We don't want the liability. We don't want the money, more profit margins for us. let somebody else fix it and give it back to us. And hey, it worked with Cody. Hey, it worked with Drew. Hey, it worked with Gender. It worked with all these other people.
It worked with R-Truth. Shit, dang.
Hey, if we go through it all, it has worked with a many of folk. So come on, let's just go ahead and do that. Now AAA, I won't be surprised if WWE gives the blessing for some people to go to TNA and a AAA to then get employment there and cut their teeth and work. I don't think it's all just strictly like, oh, because they stopped at WWE, they can't go to those places. But
yeah,
I hate the business mentality of this company and how everything has just been, what are you giving us? What are you providing us? And we're not truly, unless you are on top of that margin, or we see top of the margin from you instantly. Happy that you made it here. Now keep making it here on your own, or else we got to cut you. You better keep those crowd reactions going. You better keep those promos popping. You better keep that merch flowing. Like, you better be doing what you need to do. Otherwise, we got to cut you. And man, to have that type of debut at Elimination Chamber, but to spin it about for a Danhausen, like, to me, Jobs, like, I look at him and I see him like, hey, to see him get fired, I know something went wrong now.
Right, yeah.
Because he making them too much money now.
Right, yeah. Well, the thing with Dan and Danhausen is not a character, because if Danhausen fails, he's just a comedy character that fails. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's in a role that he's not in danger of like losing, you know, until WWE is like, okay, we're tired of this shit now, or you're not making us as much money as you did in the beginning. He'll be fine. I did want to address, I did talk to a couple of my contacts in AEW, and even I like, because I saw that online sentiment about Aleister Black, Malachi Black. And yeah, I didn't know so many people in that company just didn't fuck with him like that. But when I asked around, they said it wasn't completely off the table for him to make a return in AEW. I think as a goodwill gesture from him, he's got some people he needs to talk to. I don't know if he needs to apologize to him, but people that he rubbed the wrong way. Like, I don't know, like, how you piss off Captain Sean Dean. Like, I've met the brother once. He's a mellow guy. I just, like, how do you piss that guy off? You know, it's like, I don't know, you know. But yeah, I think the wrestling business works in a way where if a company thinks they could draw money with you, they're always gonna hire you. Does AEW think they could draw money with the Aleister Black? I don't even know the answer to that question. I don't. I'm kind of in the middle of what you think, Jarek, and in the middle of what John Pollock was saying the other day, where he thinks he's going to be guaranteed to get back over there. I think it's you know, it's a lot of things will have to come into play. You know, the main thing is, are you someone we can make money with? You know, and that's WWE's mentality with everybody, and not even with everybody, with just like, I think they care more about their business relationships with, like, Saudi and the sponsors and all that shit, more than they do pushing wrestlers, you know, than talent. That's why they can fire people so easily, you know. It's just that they care about profits, and if they can't think of anything for you and you're not bringing them the profits that they want to see at the moment, then they look at you as expendable.
Well, you're right. It's profits over people, and that's not sustainable. and we're seeing it play out in real time. And the other thing that we're seeing play out in real time is not AEW, I'm sorry, WWE admitting that they're using AI to create storylines. And we're seeing that this is not a good idea left unchecked. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, here's the thing, because what AI can mean so many different things in 2026. Like,
right.
I use AI for like because when I used to be a journalist, when I was writing for like The Atlantic and Bleacher Report and you know, all that shit. Being a freelance writer, you have to wait for these people to be like, oh, we want your story or we don't want your story. The AI component of things makes like my Substack, it doesn't matter who wants the story or not anymore, you know, right? WWE, if you're using AI for the right things, it could be good. Because I think what people are like, at least in my circles, when people like WWE is using AI, their mind automatically jumps to them using AI to write the fucking stories and shit, you know? I don't even, but the thing is, I don't think OpenAI or Claude or anything, or even Zoom or Microsoft, whatchamacallit?
Copilot or whatever.
Copilot, yeah. And I don't think any AI told them that fucking putting what's his name in as the in the main event, inserting him in that Cody Pat McAfee, inserting him in that main event was a good idea. AI does tell me when things are stupid sometimes, at least in my dealings with AI, because I ask it the right questions. I ask it about statistics and what do you know, I always ask about probabilities and shit like that. Like WWE might be using AI to tell them what they want to hear. I wanted to ask you this, Jared, because my you said you've got an MBA. I have an MPA, like Master of Public Administration, which is kind of the cousin of an MBA. And back when I was teaching, like people that were a part of the business major, they did have to take a couple, like one or two public administration classes, just like the MPA people have to take a couple business classes just so they can know how that how it works, you know, because I like WWE just does, it seems like they completely, the ethics to WWE is putting on one of those kids that's, you know, got some kind of terminal disease, and having them smile on TV with one of the wrestlers, and they call that charity, and that's their good deed of the day. And that's how it seems, you know. And I think for the wrestlers, it's important, because if I was around kids that like that, smiling even though they had some stuff going on, it would do something to my heart. But I think for the people that run that company, they just look at everything as transactional and as a profit margin. Even when they're looking at humanitarian, I remember a long time ago when we were still in the Vince regime, Stephanie McMahon, there's a quote with her saying something like, what,
philanthropy is the new way of business, or
I
remember hearing that. Yeah.
And that's just not like, where did you go to business school? Would never tell you to say something like that, you know. Like they like in business school, you might talk about how philanthropy could turn a profit, but to just outwardly say that kind of stupid shit, I just don't
understand. What are you doing?
I just don't get it, man. I'm trying, and like WWE lost the benefit of the doubt with me, Probably this is good. It goes before the first Kofi Mania in 2009, where they made you think he was going to get a push, and they pulled, did what they did. Um, Probably dates back for me to about '06, maybe, where they just where Cena Mania was just going crazy, and they're just forcing him down everyone's throat. It's to the point where it was starting to make the storylines not make any sense, like the crap they did with the Nexus and all that. And I think yeah, WWE is just in bad shape right now, man.
But here's the thing, they don't have to be. If they
Yeah.
weren't so profit focused, here's
Hmm.
the thing, WWE would be the most unstoppable company if they didn't get in their own way.
Hmm.
That's the biggest part of this. They if you didn't just not invest in characters, let some characters breathe. When characters disappear, stop letting. There's always reasons behind why people can disappear, but invest. Keep while they're gone. Like back in the day, a Randy Orton. Oh, I'm injured. But here's my whatever report. Blah 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 blah. Like, okay, cool.
Oh yeah, the
He
RNN
kept,
network.
yeah, he
Yeah,
kept
yeah.
you locked in with what he had going on.
Hmm.
Bring these people into a different role. Britt Baker won me over in AEW when she was in a wheelchair,
Hmm.
like being pushed around. Like, yes, Chelsea Green was doing that, but
Yeah.
then you let her person that was pushing her around go. What are you doing?
Mm.
You let a great wrestler and a Kaylee Ray and Alba Fire go.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
you want to see the character evolution of people, especially when you're watching episodic television, and WWE is episodic television. Like if
Right.
I'm watching The Big Bang Theory, I don't want to see Leonard was trying to date Penny in the first season of that shit. If I'm still looking at that and he's still doing the same shit in season 7 that he's doing in season, that he's still trying to date this woman, it gets old. You have to take fans on a journey with you where they feel the payoff of what, like the perfect example of this is way back in the day with Macho Man and Elizabeth.
Oh.
It was it's like you followed them for so long. The payoff wasn't just for the characters, the payoff is for the people that like those characters. And it's like, oh, this is a natural endpoint for these two. They're gonna get married at SummerSlam. Just like with that, even at the same SummerSlam when Hogan was feuding with Sergeant Slaughter, the natural endpoint for him was him with where him and the Ultimate Warrior beating Sergeant Slaughter and the Iron Sheik and the
Mhm.
other motherfucker General Adnan, beating those cats and progressing the story. Like I don't see any kind of progression of anything in WWE, and when I do see progression of stuff, it's stupid. And this is, and I understand why Cody Rhodes, who probably went back to WWE, because in WWE, the only character he's got to worry about is his own character. And he's got to make sure that gets over. Because Cody Rhodes has not, say what you want about him, and you could say, oh, they're over pushing him and stuff. Cody Rhodes has never put himself in a position where he looks stupid. Even when they put him in a position to look stupid, he makes sure that he comes out of that shit not looking stupid. The Pat McAfee stuff.
Mm.
The promo he cut at the end of that episode where Pat McAfee debuted, that was basically him taking that taint off of him.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that, like, only few wrestlers are afforded that luxury to be able to do that.
Facts. Only that top tier. Only that
Yeah.
the folks who I feel like can also negotiate that in their contract coming in of
Yeah.
those storyline assurances. Maybe not creative control, but like, hey, like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to be treated like a main event player. I want this, that, and the other. I can easily see that from some folks, from a Punk,
Right.
from a Reigns,
Yeah. Yeah.
from
I'm
a
sure
Cody
Reigns.
Rhodes.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure Reigns has veto power. I'm almost positive he does.
Not gonna work for me, brother.
Yeah, because I just remember the interview I saw with him a long time ago. I never forgot it. He says if he's wrestling on a show, a pay-per-view, he's either going to be the opening match or the closing match. He's not going to be anything in between. And I have not seen him be anything in between since he said that.
All right. So the question is, will he open or close Backlash? Because
Open.
WWE Backlash is coming on up, and so we got him facing Jacob Fatu for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jay, you say open. So how you feeling about the match coming up?
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the stories that they're bringing forth. I just saw it right before we got on air. Jacob Fatu had recorded something via WWE, and he's on the phone and crashing out in the back of the locker room. He's got this big old bruise from when he headbutted Roman and put him in the Tongan grip. Shout out to the Tongan grip. We ain't seen you in a little bit, but he was on the phone and he said, "All right, love y'all," and disconnects. So it's like, okay, we back on the phone. Who are we talking to? You know, is it the Usos? Is it somebody else? Is it Solo? Is it there's a cliffhanger that's there. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I don't think that's going to close the show because there's got to be a title on the line. Oh, actually, that is the title that's on the line, huh?
I know, right?
I was just thinking, I was like, wait a minute, I'm just talking. Yeah, so I think this actually might close the show now that I'm thinking about it. You know, speaking out loud. Yeah, this is going to close the show. I mean, this story has so many layers to it. I think that they have the opportunity to introduce another player to the bloodline storyline. Maybe a Zilla Fatu.
Is Zilla Fatu signed with them? I'm not even sure. Is he?
I don't think he's signed. I don't think he's signed yet.
Not to my knowledge.
If he has, that's the best kept secret. You know, it would be great introduction for him, you know. But yeah, you know, I think now that I scratched that from the record. I think this is gonna close the show.
Right, yeah.
Okay. All right, how about you, Professor? Do you think it's gonna close the show? What you think of the matchup?
Yeah, I like the matchup. I don't think Roman is losing it. I do think this is gonna have one of those funky finishes, which I'm not always the biggest fan of, but for Jacob Fatu, they're gonna want him to get his reps in. I think the most important thing right now is to keep Oba out of the main event scene until next year's WrestleMania, because you don't want to set yourself up in a situation with Oba where you run him down people's throats too fast and they start resenting him. So do the slow build with him. Roman feuding with what's his name? Jacob is a fine feud. Jacob could, if they wanted Jacob to lose, theoretically he could lose fairly and be fine, but I think they're gonna want to do some kind of fuck finish. Maybe maybe Zilla comes in and ruins things. I don't know what they do with it, but I think the match is a good match on paper. It's Backlash, so it's a do no harm pay-per-view well, I'm calling that shit a pay-per-view because they're making me pay $30 a month for a fucking ESPN app I don't even watch. So that shit is a pay-per-view. So it is $30 a month, and I'm not even sure I'm gonna keep it, but that's neither here nor there. I think it's a great match. And I think we are looking at Jacob's ascension into the main event scene in WWE. I think it starts with this Roman Backlash match.
And you can see that for the low cost of a Netflix subscription if you use your NordVPN
Right,
slash
yeah.
post wrestling. I'm
Mhm.
sure they still got that. So go ahead. That's a free one for you. Take
Yeah.
it. But man, hey, for the
Yeah.
low, I'm always in Canada or the UK. You can always find me over there. But nah, I'm a fan of the matchup. I get the feeling that hey, for a first round matchup, it's cool to see. We doing the Samoan thing because we had Jay follow up for Damian Priest. We now we swapping it around, and now we got Jacob doing the same thing. Roman, when he first won the Universal title, had Jay as well for his first reign. So like we kind of running that back as the usual, but I now question if Jacob has to acknowledge him. Throw up the one. Where are we going with the storyline? That's my bigger questions. Where are we going with the bloodline storyline? Because I don't have an issue with the Jacob part. My bigger issue is these damn Usos. I get that we the first family. I get that it's kind of coming off like things are more equal, but he don't have a wise man, so he got to find his counsel elsewhere. So okay, I'm gonna get my cousins as my counsel. He's still talking disrespectfully to him. He's still treating him dirty. Like, come on, like. And then look at Jimmy. We had Jimmy as a character for the last couple years. Yo, you acting like the tribal chief. Hey, I don't want you coming off like the tribal chief. Hey, you moving on the path of the tribal chief. Hey, only person who can do this now is the tribal chief. Hey, Roman has to run the play. Hey, what is happening? Like, it's like we are like forgetting the time that has happened with these characters and all the abuse and everything. It's like, oh, and I get that it's family. Maybe say that. Maybe have a character using LA Knight. I think LA Knight's on the cusp of giving me what I want because he's like, hey, if you do that, I'm gonna have a problem. That was months ago. Now he had to come back up to him. Hey, I see what you're doing. I'm starting to have a problem. But I also need him to go like, yo, where y'all at? Like, did y'all forget what that was a week ago, y'all? Like, come on, like what happened? What's happened to like Stockholm syndrome? What's going on with these Usos, y'all? What did I miss something?
Nah, I think that they're just comfortable with the Usos in that role. It's the same thing with Kofi Kingston when he was a main eventer for that year. They like Kofi Kingston, but I don't think they were ever comfortable with him in the main event role. And I think that Jey Uso just kind of unfortunately falls under that same category. Both of the Usos do, because I think what ends up happening is that universe in WWE always kind of resets itself. It's like for the first few weeks or maybe even months of this feud, you're gonna hear Roman say, oh yeah, we're equals and all that. But then as the season progresses, Roman is gonna end up being the leader. It's the Miami Heat shit all over again. It's like, oh yeah, these guys are gonna take turns being the leader. Chris Bosh is gonna be the leader, and then Dwayne Wade is gonna be the leader. Then LeBron is the fucking leader. That's just how it goes, and that's how it is with Roman and WWE. I think I do agree with Gerard when he was saying you do want to see evolution out of this kind of thing. Because if they're going back to Roman just to be goons again, but the only difference is they're calling them, they're no longer associates. They're no longer goons. They're now associates. And then all they do is shit that goons do. You're not fooling anybody. And I think that's kind of the wool WWE's trying to pull over everyone's eyes. Like, oh yeah, the it's not the same bloodline. They're equals now, and they keep walking behind Roman Reigns. Like, what kind of sense does that make?
Jay is over here bowing down to Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you was doing that same stuff in 2022 and 2021
Right, yeah.
after you got jumped and beat down by Roman. You a former world champion now. You've held the belt he is now holding, and you held it before he held it. And that's all to say. And you want a match, and let's run it all the way through. In the same Royal Rumble that they were both in. Just like this year, Roman was able to have that and win it this year. That year, it was literally Jay who survived that Rumble, and the same match Roman won the World Heavyweight Championship before him. He should have some more stank on it. If he had the attitude back in the day, saying, I don't give a damn what Tribal Chief think. Like, okay, if you think that back then, bruh, there's no way you just had all that attitude before Mania. Joe, get him, Joe. Get him, Joe. Like, what? What are you doing? Roman over here trying to shut down who's the tribal chief. It's old punk. That's so old. That's so. But literally, you're being bossed around by somebody else. You never take orders like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now you taking orders.
I kind of like the direction. I kind of like the direction, and here's why. Because I saw on Monday night when they opened it, Roman's in the middle, Jay, Jimmy on either side, right? It's almost like he's talking to one angel and he's talking to the crash out devil. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like that dynamic where it's like, hey, you got to do this. Nah, you got to go and do this.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate y'all. And then he goes out by himself. Notice they didn't flank him. He goes out by himself and approaches Jacob Fatu. So again, the storyline is there. I like it. I'm very curious to see how it ends. But to your point, Jimmy and Jay do need to evolve as characters.
Mm-hmm.
We got the yeet. Okay, we got it. Yeet. Awesome. What's past it? What's past it? You know, I'm curious to see, you know, Jimmy Uso. He's got personality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why not let that shine through? Because I mean, that's what we got introduced on Total Divas with him and Trinity, you know? So why not let that be an extension of his character on WWE cameras? Why not? I mean, you're playing with house money right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you do get that though. You just don't get all of it. They said,
Right,
"Oh, he's a funny clown guy. He gonna be a funny clown guy. That's all he gonna be."
Right.
He'll get one good smack on Gunther. That's gonna make a sound effect like no other. Because when he smacked Gunther, man, did it sound like he smacked the shit out of Gunther. But I'm talking about something that happened before last year's WrestleMania, and then what preceded that was the saxophone started playing and Jimmy getting beaten bloody on Raw. So like, that's what you got out of that situation. Jimmy, it saddens me where Jimmy's at, because Jimmy was my favorite when I was younger because like of Total Divas and whatnot. I just showed. I'm going through the evolution. I'm kind of picking and choosing what I want my girlfriend to watch. Not Evolution, but what's the Unreal?
Okay, yeah.
Unreal. And we got to a scene where the episode with Truth and Naomi. And I got the Naomi part. And since Naomi's been out with her pregnancy, my girlfriend's not ever seen. She's seen Bianca now. She loves Jade. She loves Lash. She loves Trick. And the Trick love is wild. Like, I was in a meeting today, and somebody was like, "Oh, you like wrestling? Oh, do you know whoop that?" And I was like, stop. I couldn't say, I was like, yeah, the lemon pepper steppers. I was like, this is wild. he actually breaking through. This is wild. Why are you ma'am? I don't expect this from you, ma'am.
That's hilarious.
No, you gotta I lost my train of thought because I'm talking about the lemon pepper steppers and Trick breaking through. What was I saying prior to my B?
Oh, you just introduced Unreal to your girlfriend, talking about
Naomi, and she's now seeing Naomi and seeing Naomi and Jimmy go back and forth on camera.
Right.
What my girlfriend loves is seeing the wrestlers and their dynamics with others and genuine dynamics. She thinks the sets and the skits are cool, but seeing the actual unreal part of it all is really good for her. And so, Cody, she's like, Cody Rhodes, okay, he cool. Second, she saw Brandy Rhodes come in there. She said, okay. Oh, it's a black wife. Okay. Okay. And so that's helping her grow through like what she loves, and seeing both of them on camera. She was like, I've seen him before, but why does he not act like that on there? And so that hits right to your point, Jay, of like, have him, the template's there. He's already on your product doing what he needs to be doing. Just have him do that over here. And that's it. So, but I hope to see more from the bloodline. The first family.
Right.
But
go ahead. No, go ahead. I think my biggest issue with that company is outside of Trick and Oba, I really don't like see who's next in line, like feel who's next in line, like because I don't see anybody on the SmackDown roster ever being on the level of Cody. I don't see anybody on the Raw roster right now being on the level of Roman and Punk, except for Oba, and I think doing that. But the thing is, I do think you have to like keep a controlled pace with Oba for the year. I don't think you need to hot shot everything right now with him. Just have him right now. If I was them, I don't know, almost kind of similar to what they did with Goldberg, where Goldberg was just beaten down like Jabro. He was working his way up the the title screen, right? Like on Mortal Kombat, he's fighting like Hugh Morris and beating his ass in his first match. Then he gets the United States Championship fighting Raven, and eventually he gets up to Hogan, and I think that's kind of how you have to do Oba, and I think that's my biggest problem with WWE right now with the Cody stuff. I just don't see who's like, not just who's gonna replace Kobe, but who's gonna bring in the money that Kobe brings, because Kobe brings an astronomical amount of money. His segments a lot of weeks on SmackDown, I wouldn't say they're the only watchable segments on SmackDown, but they're the segments where that there's going to be some kind of storyline progression,
Okay, let me holler at you, because I'm sorry, y'all, for the sake of our tight 90 that we never hit, we're going to throw out the last two matches. I'm sure we're going to get to talk about Backlash a little bit more in the future. It's only two matches. It's Io and Asuka. That should have been on Mania.
Right.
And it's Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. Seth, sit still and take that spear. That's it.
Stop sidestepping. Just take it, bro.
Just take that spear. One move. Just take it. That's it. That's all. Appreciate you. But who do y'all think is going to have a hot boy or hot girl summer? And that could lead into next year's WrestleMania. That could lead into the next few years. And I'm going to kick it off because, Chris, I'm going to answer your question. Who do I think can replace a Cody who can make that money like a Cody? I got a couple people for you. One of them, that's a Trick Williams.
Yeah,
Because
well,
my God,
he's the obvious one. That's
but
why
on
I
multiple
preface.
levels.
Yeah, that's why I preface my comments with besides Trick and Oba, who's next? You know?
Oh, okay. Besides Trick
Yeah,
and Oba.
yeah.
Give me 1 second. Let me look at my list, my small little list over here. I have
Mm,
a couple of names.
yeah. Because Trick
Specifically in
is,
specifically in WWE.
yeah, in WWE,
Okay. Okay.
like
Who's
because
already? I don't think Braun is going to be the one, but if you give Javon some time,
yeah, I
I'm
think so
saying
too.
5 years for Javon, and I think if
Yeah,
Javon goes on this track, Javon to me looks like a very young Cody Rhodes currently.
right.
Javon,
Yeah.
as he gets older,
Hmm.
should at a current like maybe in 3-4 more years start to bulk up just a little bit more. Because if you go back to OG AEW, and I know I'm bouncing around with this, but at MJF, he looked a little bit smaller, went away for a bit,
Right. Yeah.
and came back, and it was right before he won the world title, started looking just jacked.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
bro, I got another example, and this is who I really think Evans really reminds me of. Swerve Strickland, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah,
Hey,
definitely look at OG
remember
Swerve.
back in Lucha Underground, this dude
Look
wasn't
at
as brolic as he is now.
Mhm.
Fast forward 7-8 years, this is who we got. Still able to do some of those moves, but he got a little, bulk to him now, right? So it's
Right.
like
Yeah.
he got the size, he's got the athletic ability, but I really see him, just basically just hitting the weight room, and 5 years from now, he's gonna be a problem. Dude, when they were doing the triple threat in NXT with Trick, him, and Oba, he was holding his own. He didn't look out of place at all, right?
Yeah.
that is
Put
your
some
future.
seasoning on that.
Mhm.
5 years from now, that
Yeah.
should be a WrestleMania Night 2 main event.
Yeah. Like, and I agree, and that's my issue with WWE's. I see guys in 5 years, like who I think is going to be it. I'm trying to figure out who's going to be it this year outside of Trick and Oba. I don't think there's anything wrong with them two being the only guys that are going to be it. But Oba, again, I think Oba slow moving is the thing with him. Not slow moving like astronomically slow, like slow moving throughout the calendar year.
Mhm.
And then with Trick, I want to have more faith in him, but they got to stop doing this stupid stuff with him on SmackDown, man. It makes no sense to what this guy is turning into. And it almost seems like there's
slow burn.
right, yeah. It almost seems like they're like purposely trying to derail him. I don't want to be that kind of conspiracy theorist, but why else would you have Sami Zayn like still be cutting the same kind of stupid promos, and then Trick kind of cutting heel promos, but kind of a baby face? I just don't get it.
Hey, whoa, slow down, Chris.
Mhm.
You're pressing me too hard, man. You're pressing me too hard. Stop trying to define the relationship. It doesn't need to be babyface. It doesn't need to be heel. Chill out. Let Sammy. He's doing the Bo Dallas turn from OG NXT, where he was the delusional babyface, who eventually then was full on a heel. We don't want to run Trick dry down, because I think Trick is going to be Mr. Money in the Bank. I think that, and I'm looking at the timeline.
When is that pay-per-view? Money in the
After
Bank?
SummerSlam.
Oh, okay.
After SummerSlam. So here's the thing. Wow. That can now hold you a whole year, even post the next year SummerSlam. So now I think Trick can be world champion within that time period by then, for sure. He's connecting across audiences in wild ways. Like, I'm not trying to put this woman business out there, but there's like a 47-year-old woman that, like, I did not expect this pull from her. Like, cause she was like, she could not name another wrestler or another nothing, but like she was just like, Trick Williams, that's the man. That's the man.
Right.
I know him. It's some steppers. So
it's so crazy how fast that dude has gotten name recognition, and he's only been on the main roster for like, what is it, a couple months, and like my wife instantly knows who he is. I've talked to people watching WWE, and they're like, what's up with that guy Trick? And it's just like, I really do think when you get something like that, that is lightning in a bottle, and you got to hold on to it and treat it right, man, because like you're not getting that. It's gonna be another few years until you get another baby face like that. You're just not getting that shit all the time. And those that's a Austin level face right there. That is a Rock level face that you don't manufacture. Well, the Rock was a little bit manufactured, but like the Steve Austin, where people are just gravitating towards him, and like the CM Punk when he debuted in WWE, and he was over the minute he got into WWE. That's what I see Trick as. Trick is like a guy that is just like, they didn't even have to do anything, and he's already known by people, and people are saying lemon pepper steppers and whip that trick and all that stuff, and they're not talking about hustle and flow when they're saying it. So yeah, man, I think Trick, they got something very, very special with him.
Yep. And just to add on to what you were saying, I think Trick Williams, I mean, you could tell he's media ready by the amount of press that he was doing during the whole WrestleMania.
Right,
week.
yeah.
He was all over ESPN. It might well have been Trick ESPN, because I mean, this dude was everywhere, right? And I mean, dude has a great following. He's made fans. I mean, my wife didn't know who he was until I was like, hey, check this man's intro out. And instantly she was like, this dude has it. He's got aura. You know what I mean? And so he's got the move set. He's honestly exactly what I thought Montez Ford could have been.
Right, yeah,
if
exactly.
they gave him the leash to go ahead and do that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But we do have a comment I do want to share. And if you have any comments out there that's watching this right now, we appreciate you. Shout out to Jacques Cartier. He says, in my opinion, Cody benefits from the guardrails of WWE. He had too much freedom in AEW. Thought he could get over with anything, and the Codyverse was a mess. And you know what?
No,
go ahead and reply to that. Go ahead.
I think the thing in AEW, it was a storyline that didn't work. I don't think it's an indictment on Cody Rhodes. I don't think it was something stupid. It was something very, very stupid. I think if he stayed in AEW, he could have eventually overcame it, but I think the best way of him overcoming it is going to WWE. As for his guardrails in WWE, I don't think he's got that many. I think Cody is a made man in WWE. I think Cody Rhodes kind of like writes his own ticket. I mean, like, what?
But I can see the point. I can see Jock's point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, Cody Rhodes was, towards the end of his AEW run, he was calling out matches that we knew were not going to happen.
Yeah.
He put that stupid stipulation where he's not going to get the world title, and I think that was the death knell right there.
Yeah, I think so too.
What else are you fighting for? The love of the game? I mean, that's cool. But that's really not what we're here for, right?
He didn't want to be accused of doing what Dusty did, so he put that stipulation. I don't.
Jeff Jarrett's there.
Yeah, well, Jeff Jarrett is. Yeah, Jeff Jarrett doesn't care about the reputation of being an asshole. Cody Rhodes he seems like he wants to be a man of the people for some reason. But yeah. I think.
I definitely see the point, but I do think Cody is thriving in the WWE environment because, to his point, he left the WWE as Stardust, came back as Cody Rhodes, a fully fleshed out character, new theme music, or at least new to WWE theme music, and he was a fully developed character that's like, hey, this guy is what we aspire to have as a WWE superstar. let's run with this. Let's see what happens and ride it till the wheels fall off. And we have yet to see the wheels fall off. And it hasn't gotten stale. In some points it has, but Cody knows how to rein it back in.
Right, yeah.
And he's done a pretty good job of doing that.
Right. And again, I think he's the best person in WWE at doing that, man. Because like I think his character preservation during that whole Pat McAfee fiasco was like almost a chef's kiss kind of thing, because that feud stayed garbage, but Cody Rhodes made sure they were only going to throw so much trash on him, and that he was going to walk out of that shit like untainted, you know. And I think other wrestlers should start taking notes from Cody, because I think Cody he's been around so long that he knows how to play the politic game well. He knows how to play the politic game where he's not burying everyone else on the roster, where he's making sure he comes out intact, and he's not like burying everybody or saying, hey, this person can't be a main eventer anymore. Or at least from optically speaking, from my point of view, he's not doing that shit. I don't know if he's doing it or not, but it doesn't look like he's doing that. I haven't heard complaints about that.
Let me throw 2 more names at you all. How about a Dominic Mysterio? And we talked about him earlier. How about a Jacob Fatu? I said a couple. We're going to make it a trio.
Mm-hmm.
How about a Penta?
I'll even put another character in there that no one has even mentioned this person's name, which I think she has the potential of being a breakout star this summer. Roxanne Perez. Mm-hmm. And I'm not just saying that because of Monday night. I'm saying because of the storyline that she finds herself in. I'm saying it because of the talent that she had coming into Raw from an NXT run. She's up next, I think.
Miss Money in the Bank, I do believe. She's one of the top 2 people I believe to get Miss Money in the Bank for sure.
Yeah.
From what her performances last year, she was one of the final few in the Rumble with Charlotte. She's the last 2 with Rumble and Charlotte. She was one of the last few in the Chamber. She's been all over the main roster and NXT, and now she's full-time on the main roster. I think she had the record for the most matches last year for women. And she's been hard working, putting it in, grinding. It's her time. And I think her having the briefcase, that as a gimmick for her to then say Liv still has that belt, or maybe lost the belt but got the belt back. Now it brings some tension in there. Or maybe Liv loses the belt, maybe Roxanne goes after the belt, and now it's that Randy Orton tension. And Evolution, when Hunter is like, yo, you got what I want. You supposed to be the prodigy. I ain't left yet. Sit your ass down. Give me my belt. And so I hope for the future for her, and I like the future for her. And I think she can have a hot girl summer. But I think Penta might be the Penta or Dom might be that big, or both could be that big replacement for the Hispanic market. Because I think both of them can sell merch on a high level that it's not going to be, okay, you're number 1 Cody Rhodes babyface, but if we were going to say a Stone Cold and have that Stone Cold with the Attitude Era style undercard cast under him of a Rock, a McFoley, a Kane, a Big Show, a Undertaker, all of them being world champion and world champion material under him that get all interchanged with that, I think a Penta, a Dom, under us aging out Cody down the line, with a Trick Williams now up there, with an Oba up there, with whoever you want to throw up there. Because sadly, like I don't know what they're doing with Drew McIntyre. Maybe he's not everybody's cup of tea, but that is a main eventer that you could be doing way more with. But he seemingly just eats it most times. So
yeah. Well,
I don't know what's going on with Drew.
He's a main eventer, but he's a main eventer utility player. He's not as goofy as Kane was, but on like the level of like a Mark Henry, a Kane type of person. Like the Undertaker was a main eventer special attraction character. He was like a guy that you don't put the belt on him, but you keep him around as a special attraction. What Kane and Mark Henry and Big Show and those cats were guys where if the main eventer we want is out, you put Drew McIntyre in and he'll fulfill that role.
I like that. Sadly, Drew just ain't. People ain't going out enough, I guess.
Right, yeah.
Drew in a drought.
I mean, he's a like what you were talking about earlier, Jabbar. He's another one of those characters that hasn't had any evolution since the pandemic. Like, there's only so long you could be crying about the same shit for, man. It's like,
but that was the evolution in 2020, like 3 and 2024, where Punk was like him and that like mentor mentee, like I hate you, like I prayed for this, like I'm a bitter bastard because I didn't get what I wanted during the pandemic. So that grew in me as a baby face until I became a bitter individual, and basically until I was beaten into submission by Gunther at WrestleMania 39 in a triple threat when somebody was power bombed on me and I was pinned. Like, what a way to go! Yeah, I'd be bitter as shit too after that. Like, and then the next Mania, I get my world title stolen from me because a man with one arm tripped me at a desk while I'm trying to say hi to my wife. Yeah, I'm gonna be bitter as hell about that. Give me your bracelet. You gonna choke on these beads. I hate you.
But the problem with that guy is like when the people that I'm around that don't watch wrestling, especially my wife, I wish she was in here right now, is every time they see that guy, they call him the guy that complains all the time. And that's, to me, is not a good look if you want, if for like for what I think is a good look for him as a utility player, which he is. I don't think it's a good look for for any kind of character progression. It's just, yeah, I'm still complaining about that, and he's still complaining even about the pandemic shit, you know, about winning the title there, and still complaining about like even in that Jacob Fatu feud, it's like that was years ago, my dude, you know? Like if Kobe Bryant stayed in the NBA complaining about the 2 free throws the 2 threes he missed with the Jazz, the Lakers would never have won any more championships. And it just stopped right there, you know? I think
anybody seen Arrow here?
Yeah, I used to watch it all the time.
Do you remember Slade and when him and Oliver arguing
with Shadow and
Slade,
all that? Yeah.
That was 5 years ago. It was yesterday.
Yeah.
That's how Drew acted. It was yesterday.
Right. Yeah.
I forgot that.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, any other people we think are gonna have big blowout summers? It could be a tag team. It don't have to be just main event level folk, but do we think anybody like a Blake Monroe? Do we think maybe a Charlotte Flair, maybe Bayley, maybe a Becky Lynch? Who do we think gonna have a crazy summer?
I don't know about Blake Monroe yet. I'm losing confidence in her. Not her, but the character development for her.
But it's May. Come on, man. You gotta have some faith in May.
Well, I have to see it develop. I can't get faith until I see how things play out, you know? Like if I don't want to say, oh yeah, she's gonna be big, and then like I see her and she's still doing the same NXT crap. It's like, all right, nah, there goes my credibility. But I don't think she's in a horrible shape. I think that the company needs to figure out what they're gonna do with her. I think the character, not Mariah May, the character is a little stupid. And they've got to stop doing this with people, you know? I like she like in AEW, she was not stupid. She was conniving. She was in it for herself person. It's like she's one of those people like the minute she got any kind of notoriety, the first thing she does is turn on her friends. You know, that's a character. That's an antagonistic character. Mariah May or whatever. What's her name now? Blake Monroe?
Yeah.
Blake Monroe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know what she is, you know. That's just goes back to like what I say about a lot of those cats. If I was gonna pick, I think Dominique is gonna be fine because I don't think they've got any like world title aspirations for him yet. And I'm not even saying they'll never have that. He's just one of those guys that if he is gonna get the world title, it's gonna take him a few years. It's gonna be like a Kofi Kingston, Eddie Guerrero kind of thing. It's not happening tomorrow or 2027 or 2028, maybe 29. But yeah.
Okay. All right. When Detroit finally gets their WNBA team, Dom Mysterio is gonna also be world champion. That's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Are y'all getting another team in Detroit?
Yes, indeed. We getting them in 2029. So
Are they going to be the Shock again? Are they going to be the Shock again? Okay,
I do believe so, but I have not been following the coverage as strong. I will also admit that as well. But with that said, I'm gonna say one last name and we'll move on to AEW because we got to get it moving on. But with that, how about Chelsea Green? I think once she can recover from this injury, I think Chelsea Green will get. I think the words of Michael Hayes will eventually come back to bite him, and she will get a bolstering in her position, maybe even up to Money in the Bank. Like if it's not going to be a Roxanne Perez, why not be a Chelsea Green? You've highlighted her through Unreal. To give that as a storyline on Unreal, you did the same thing with Naomi last year. Why not now do that same storyline but with Chelsea Green?
I'm not mad at
it.
I'm not mad at it.
Make sure Michael Hayes eats his words on camera and says, "Yeah, I was wrong. Poor take, poor form.
Well, yeah,
I was wrong. Doot.
I already hated Michael Hayes before that Unreal crap, and that Unreal crap confirmed to me why I didn't like the guy. You know, it's just just stuff like that. You know, he's like. Him and Bruce Pritchard used to get on my nerves when we remember when WWE used to put out those DVD documentaries of wrestlers and stuff. Like, why did Bruce Pritchard and Doc Hendricks always have to be in those videos? Like, just, you know, and always kissing WWE's ass too, you know. And I don't want to see upper management say that kind of shit on television about your talent. Like, how is that a good thing, you know? Like, I don't want to watch somebody and I hear how much they hate the actor that they're directing or the starting player that they got on the team. I don't need to see that shit, you know? Sorry about that. That was just a little bit of a. You guys brought up Doc Hendricks, and it just it just brings something out of me, you know.
It's an old wound. I get it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think it says something about the WWE's line of thinking to where it's like you need to get fresh ideas and new people to the table that have good ideas and are able to hash out those older things that are older tropes that we've seen already. You know, we need to get fresh blood at the table. And yeah, I mean, Bruce Pritchard's been there for years, and I know he's got a wealth of knowledge. I'm sure Michael Hayes has a wealth of knowledge as well too. But You gotta get some of these new cats in here. Maybe an AJ Styles, bring some fresh ideas to the table, bring some people of color to the table to help elevate other people of color. I mean, even there's an interview with Triple H and Shawn Michaels where he even admitted, look, I'm running out of cool stuff to say for him. And once I run out of cool stuff to say for Trick Williams, what are we gonna do? Oh, I know. Hire somebody that speaks to the culture, that can bring it to the forefront to help elevate your talent. I don't know, just a thought. But yeah, Michael Hayes had his run. Thank you for your contributions to the industry. And that's all I gotta say about it.
Right,
give him that Hogan treatment. Thank you for contributions. Be gone.
Yeah.
My favorite peace sign, if you ever seen Chappelle's show, is a Mad Real World. It's when the white dude finally leaving the house,
and the black girl is like, yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Favorite peace sign, bounce.
Yeah.
But you know where we bounce into? We bounce into Double or Nothing in Queens, New York. That's where we bounce into. Because hey, we gonna talk about the Owen Hart Cup. Who is gonna win this? Is it gonna be for the men's? Is it gonna be a Will Ospreay? Is it gonna be a John Moxley? Could it be an MJF now? A man desperate to get the world title back. Because Darby said, nah, fam, you good. But hey, you know who up next? The Jet. Hey, watching the Jet not only beat MJF, but then be in that main event segment, I'm like, bro, to see you from MLP to AEW doing your thing, man, and then the New Japan experience, but my real first time with Kevin being there, great to see that. But I don't think he went to Owen. So but they constant evolution and projection and growth. Like to see that with him. But who's winning it for the men? And who's winning it for the women? Is it a Jamie Hayter? Is she gonna step away from the birds? Call to make sure she can do what she needs to do and get that get back with the Spider Lady. It started with her, so she says, nah, it's gotta come back and end with me. I gotta put you down. I should have put you down the first time you came and stepped to me. Is it her? Are we looking at, Willow just dropped one belt. I wouldn't be mad if my girl goes all the way to the finals and gets that cup and goes after Spider Lady. Or it's the story. I got one belt left. And I got to retain this belt by any means necessary. And so it's going to be Mercedes Moné going to retain the belt and fix the mistake of her losing ways where they all began. And All In. Spinning that block to get that world championship. Jay, let's start with you. Who do you got for the men's? Who do you got for the women's?
For the men's side, I could actually see it would be interesting to see Will Ospreay win the Owen. Another one I would like to see. I mean, we've seen, MJF, in the title picture, in the title hunt. Kenny Omega as well, too. But a dark horse that could throw a whole wrench in this whole situation. Hangman Adam Page. We ain't seeing him in a little bit, And I know he said, I ain't going to go for the title anymore. That was one of the stipulations, and I get it. But that's my dark horse, So stranger things have been said. I don't know. But I honestly can see Will Ospreay getting his run at the title via the Owen Cup. On the women's side, I do like Mercedes Moné. Another one we haven't spoke about at all is a Persephone. I mean, she can go. She's everything that AEW is looking for to expand internationally. She's Hispanic. She speaks Spanish fluently. speaks English fluently. She's a talented. She's already she's been showcased on one of the AEW shows already, and she can go. So I wouldn't mind seeing her in the mix as well too as a dark horse. But I think it's gonna probably be a Mercedes Moné that does it, and if it's not her, man, I wouldn't mind seeing as much as it seems like I'm giving her hate, and I'm not hating on her at all. Chris Statlander, her, going back and forth again with Tekla. That's not a bad matchup at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear you on the last one. I hear you, but I'm starting to hear Nate too at this point now, man. I'm trying to be polite, but I hear Nate at this point, man. She is coming off like tofu at this point. Because, like, man, I'm watching her with Hikaru Shida. I'm just like, what are we doing here, fam?
Yeah.
What's happening? Like, I'm very confused.
Yeah.
You feel very lost. We need to get you some help. Let's go get you where you need to be at. Where's your parent at? Come on. Let's get you to Lost and Found. Because good guy, Chris Statlander, you're scaring me. Where are you going with all this? Because that was the reunion with Willow. Where's the story at? Where's and I'm not saying AEW. I'm not doing the AEW doesn't have story joint. They got stories. Man, well, where Chris is a weird one. And yeah, she an alien, but she a weird one, man.
Yeah. But bell to bell, not too many females on that roster or any roster, can say anything negative about her work. Her work rate, solid. Character work, absolutely. It's everywhere.
Facts. Okay. Big facts. Yeah, I'm with you on that for sure. And so now I'm gonna throw it at you, Chris. Who's gonna be your men's winner? Who's gonna be your women's winner?
Yeah, for the men, I think it's gonna be Ospreay. I think that's gonna be his what's gonna get him in the main event at the UK pay-per-view. For the women, I got Mercedes as well. I do think when she returns to AEW, she will be the top female babyface at the moment for a little while. Maybe fans will tire of her after a few months or so, but I think like Mercedes is one of those characters that like everyone says she should be heel. It's always the same formula with her. It's like, oh, she needs to be heel. She needs to be heel. Then she turns heel and she starts wrestling and she starts getting cheered again. So I don't really know and I don't say this about everybody, but with her, I don't know if it matters if she's a face or a heel. I think it's just as long as she's entertaining people on television, she'll be fine. But those are my two for now. Mercedes, I might flip on that one. Ospreay, I'm not flipping on that. I think it's going to be Ospreay.
I think when it comes to Mercedes, why people keep asking her to change when she's a face is because those promos don't connect.
Yeah, they
don't hit the same way because it's almost in a pandering style.
Right.
You don't want to hear her pander. So
no, she's got
that regard. She's got to be John Moxley. She's got to have that wrestle face, but like have the edge on the mic.
I think that's what I don't like about her either. I think she needs to be like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Is like when you don't need to change the promo style just because you're good. You can still have the attitude and shit. Show your good guyness or good galness like every once in a while, like when somebody's getting jumped or something. That's what Austin used to do in the beginning of his face turn. But you don't have to have him cut. You don't have to have her out there cutting these promos that don't connect with the audience. And that make her sound lame. She just needs to be cocky. It's like, Allen Iverson, it's like, people in Philly loved him, they loved him in spite of all the cockiness and shit, and I think that Mercedes needs to, keep that about her and just be a baby face, but don't be a corny baby face. That we got no room for that in 2026 with certain people.
I feel it. No, that's
Mhm.
absolutely correct. And so going into my picks, Mercedes is my women's winner for all the reasons I listed out. She's got to defend that last belt. That's the biggest women's story you can have. And now she can be the person coming in to defeat the toxic folks and have to have that overcoming of the sisters and Tekla. So look, I'm not mad at that. For my men's winner, I was trying to pretend like I was gonna pick anybody else. Oh, Samoa Joe. I'd even love to throw my man in there like, oh, Swerve Strickland, but nah, he in the West right now. He West looking for Bandito. So with that, he focused over there. I'm looking at my man Will Ospreay. Why? Because he got to the final of the Continental Classic and lost. Because he got not this past year. Don't look at me like I'm crazy, y'all. Not this year. The previous year. He got to the final of the Owen last year, and he lost. This man has lost multiple tournament finals in a row. This man needs to get that tournament final back in blood. So whoever he is at the end, he will be winning this match, moving forward in that regard to then go on to All In Wembley. But now my bigger question to you all is, who are the champions that these people are going to face? Is Spider Lady going to be the big threat that Mercedes is going to face? I'm going to answer it off the rip. For me, yes, my women's pick of is the women's champion going to be Tekla going into All In? At this point, invest in her. Let's ride that wave. I hope they don't do a story where maybe Mercedes picks it off her prior to, and then you have a different matchup leading into All In. No, let Tekla ride that wave. She's got the charisma, the energy, and that fire, and she's been fun as world champion. She's been entertaining me in the ring and out of the ring as well. So keep that up. And who is going to be the men's world champion going into All In?
Chris, I'll let you handle it first. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm about to say my answer first, real quick before I let.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
Hey, you go.
I'm being dramatic. I'm over here trying to be a little quiet, little suspense.
Got the pregnant pause over here, bro. What's going on?
Hey, the pregnant pause. Well, here in Michigan, we call it the Michigan pause.
Okay.
And with that, you might need to look a little bit north for me, for what I really need to say, which is, hey, Winnipeg, Kenny Omega. I think he feels the need to inspire the youth. And he sees currently a Will Ospreay going to a John Moxley to find his way to the world title. That ain't the way, kid. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. That ain't the way. And so he says to teach that lesson, I got to get that world title. And so we're going to get our first ever Darby Allin, Kenny Omega match. And Kenny Omega gonna V-trigger that man Darby into like a 360 and pin him, and we gonna get that belt right on off Darby. And that's not me saying I don't like Darby as a champion. I think Darby is a burn bright, burn fast kind of person. He had that same kind of TNT title reign with Samoa Joe a couple years ago, where he had it for like a month. And boy, was that a month, but then it went right back to Joe. Hey. I wanted to go right back to MJF because I really like that story of Kenny. And so that whole, man, I inspired him like almost swelling up and crying in the locker room. To me, that's going to be that final push that Kenny needs to get himself to the world title for Will. And so that's that Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay 3 and Wembley. That's what I got for y'all. But Chris, take it away, man.
Yeah, I got Kenny Omega as well. I think that's the more attractive match is Kenny and Darby. I mean, you could put the belt back on MJF, and it'll be fine. I think MJF's last title reign, where he held the belt for how many months? Like 3 months or so, is way better than that. Yeah, it's way better in that 3 months than what he did in that year. I still think that year title reign was complete garbage. think this last title reign was fine. You could put the belt back on MJF and be fine. But I do think Kenny Omega and Ospreay is the biggest match you can do for Wembley. So I think you need to find a way to put that belt back on Omega. Now, here's the thing with AEW. They don't have a whole lot of formulas, but the one thing that they don't like doing is hot shot in the world title. I don't think it's anything wrong with if you're only doing it for like a season and you're not making a habit out of it right now. I think in order to tell a great story, you get the belt on Omega and you have Ospreay beat him for the belt because it just makes the most sense in my opinion.
I complain about the MJF thing because I'm sorry. I don't know how you both felt. I like their match. When it comes to Ospreay winning a world title, there's two matches and two people I want to see that from. If it ain't Omega, it's Swerve. Because that Swerve and Omega match, not Swerve. Yeah, Swerve and Ospreay match at Forbidden Door a couple years ago. My favorite AEW match, probably to this day, period. And if that was going to be the match where Will got it, I'd have been sad that was the end of Swerve's run. But man, I would have been happy for Will because what a match and what a way to end. I didn't feel that joy in them MJF matches when we were in Wembley the last time. So I just don't want to see that. That's my personal opinion. But Jay, how you feeling, man?
I think we got it's going to be consensus. I think it's going to be a Omega versus Ospreay. We got the foreshadowing when they were in the trainer's room. How we get there, not sure. I like the theory that you're dropping right there with Omega taking the belt off of Darby Allin, and I do like that. Side note, I would not mind seeing Samoa Joe with the belt back. I don't think it's a what's it called, an all-in or an all-out pay-per-view in London. I wouldn't mind seeing Samoa Joe carrying the title, becoming the king of Monday Night again, or I'm sorry, the king of TV again. That character was awesome. But yeah, I think it's ultimately going to be a Omega versus Ospreay.
To me, that's the match that Wembley Stadium, come on over all across the world for this big marquee match. Those two, the conclusive one in New Japan, one in AEW. We're having the big one, the last one in our big show of the year. I don't need Kenny to go be the Kenny from Forbidden Door a couple of years ago. Just be you and don't have a finish in it, and I'm good. Mm-hmm. Like having Don come up at last year's All In to play distraction and mess around where then Okada wins. Like I was like, oh, boo and hiss. Get this out of my stadium, man. I was like, you lucky this ain't you lucky you the wrong bald person. You ain't John Moxley, because I'd be walking out of this stadium right now. But I have a promise for this main event I have to uphold. By God, Don, I didn't know I was gonna have to hate you today. So yeah, that I'm hoping a clear 1v1 babyface v babyface, your Warrior Hogan putting over the next generation. I love to see that from those two, and I think that's, if we were to talk about how AEW can blow up, have a hot summer, that's how you have a hot summer. But in my opinion, let's end off on this. What wrestlers do we think on AEW side can have a hot boy, hot girl summer?
Off the rip, Tekla. Off the rip, Tekla. For sure. I mean, she's been fire for quite some time, and I think she's going to carry that over. I'm quickly becoming one of my favorite wrestlers, hands down. I mean, she's entertaining. Her in ring is untouchable. She her. You know what I'm saying? She's got it. You know what I mean? On the men's side, man, I wouldn't mind seeing, like I already kind of mentioned, Samoa Joe. I know this is going to be like one of his last runs. I get it. I like seeing the infiltration of new talent that's come across, like the usage of Tommaso Ciampa. We've known he can go bell to bell, no problems, and actually seeing him being able to perform at that level, 100%. I'm good with that. Hurt Syndicate. I would love for them to get that flame back up under them and have the hot summer that I know they can have. Yeah, man. And again, we already spoke about not Moxley, but Ospreay, and I'm interested in the connection with him and Moxley, and how that story is unfolding and developing too. So, AEW's got a bunch of different storylines that are very intriguing. Takeshita and Okada as well. That's gonna be fire. That's gonna be fire. So again, there's so many different storylines. Dude, I didn't even mention Leo Rush and the character that he has, and he's bringing to TV, and he cooking. So again, there's so many different things that AEW doing right with storylines without AI writing their stories for them. That I find much more interesting than I'm seeing from the other ones. So yeah, I'm very, very, very interested in tuning in and finding out exactly what's going to happen with that. So,
all right, Chris, how about you, man?
Yeah. I think Ospreay is going to probably be the guy of the summer in both companies. I think he's just going to be the guy of the summer in wrestling. I think that as far as women are concerned, I'm liking Timeless Tony Storm again, but I think she's gonna probably be more for the fall or the winter of next year. I'm liking Mercedes, liking Willow. I think Willow is one of those people that they're gonna have to push her soon beyond where she's at, because I don't want her to be like another Ethan Page or or not Tony Stark, Iron Man. Ricky Starks, yeah. I think you don't want her leaving because she doesn't see any upward mobility for her character. So we need to see that with her too, and that Jade left for the same reason as well. You want to see some upward mobility with her.
I say I like that, and I Willow's definitely one of my people. I definitely think Will is gonna be on that list too. I think I know how his Hot Boy Summer ends, but we'll get to that in 2 seconds. Kevin Knight, we see the projection, we see the rise.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna continue to see that. His tag team partner, Karate Kid himself. I can't think of his name. Now I'm blanking on his name. I'm gonna call him everything under the sun but his actual name. Speedball Mike Bailey. There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
So I think he'll have a decent glow up this summer and get him a new spot off of that. I'm looking at, and you might think it's kind of wild for you to say these three. I'm gonna say FTR, Young Bucks, and Copen Cage. Not right now. I think we on the rise to getting there, but I think we're gonna have a hot boy summer because WrestleMania 2000 is upon us. When you have the build up to WrestleMania 2000, it was the belt going back and forth between this trio that just could not really break away from each other. You had different tandems and different matches. We got this I Quit matches coming up, and I Quit Street Fight, whatever that thing is going to be at Double or Nothing coming up for the folks. That match, they're going to win the belts. Cool. Copen Cage will win that, but then that's going to give the Young Bucks the opportunity to possibly win the belts back. And then it's going to give them, we all going to combine in one bigger match. And what are Copen Cage always good at doing? Winning a ladder match. And so them winning the belts back in a ladder match at All In, that is my WrestleMania 2000 that I'm talking about. That is upon us. And so I think we are on that projected build of them having those, like a Royal Rumble where there's a tables match and we had to have that feud between the Dudleys and the Hardys. We're going back and forth with the feud. I think we're going to see that same thing with these three teams moving forward into that summer. Swerve. I'm loving the fact that, okay, yeah, Swerve went missing for a second, but now Swerve is coming back in a vignette. He said, nah, I'm going to pop up in your vignette, and I'm going to mess you up, Bandito. I'm looking for you, Mr. Most Wanted. Now, I hope, like, does this mean the ROH World title? I hope not. I just hope this means exciting, fun matches. And I'd love to see what comes up for Swerve in the future, because he put on the size, he came back. Most dangerous. I want to see him be the most dangerous now. So
the most wanted versus the most dangerous. That's gonna be dope.
Man, love it. And like that's what keep giving me unique ways and productions and promos and storylines. Feed into that for me. Which is why I think by the end of this, though it's gonna be a hot boy summer for Will Ospreay. His neck hurt, and you know, I got the perfect thing for a hurt neck. It's called a hurt lock. They get all in during the Casino Gauntlet. Bobby Lashley will also have maybe not a hot boy summer, but man, will it be a warm winter for him when he holds on to that contract, calls his shot, and eventually gets that world title right off of I'm gonna call him Ricochet. Oh Lord, Will Ospreay,
yeah,
with that hurt lock. So hey, I think a lot of folks in AEW are about to have a hot summer coming up. So I can't wait to see more. We're gonna be talking about all that right here on the Nefarious Media Network, right here on Ring Theory, on the parlay. Because sometimes we're gonna chat out some wrestling over there too, on the Kings of Sports. Because hey, this is sports entertainment, if you will. Or pro wrestling, depending on what camp you in. You know, I'm not in the JAS, so I'm not gonna be over here doing all that nonsense like that. I'm a sports entertainer now. I like my pro wrestling all the time. But with that said, we gonna hit the big three and hit the big deuce. So, hey, for the big three, Chris, who you got? Who your big winner? Your big loser? And you all right of the month.
For the month, my big loser, let's go with that first, is WWE as a whole. They just keep saying the wrong things. I watched an interview with Nick Khan. I don't know if it was an interview. I don't know what the fuck that was. It was like some kind of like press conferencey thingy. Where he was just talking word salad, making no sense, talking about people used to hate Roman Reigns, but now look at him, and acting like their stubborn moves are the reason why Roman Reigns is so popular. Roman Reigns is popular in spite of you dumbasses, not because of it. So yeah, WWE is. I mean, I'll probably give it to them next week and the week after that, and the week after that, the week after that. However, there is one clear bright spot in WWE outside of with that Trick Williams, and I'm talking about Oba. Yeah, that's gonna be my guy for the little while. He's got that intangible that you don't get out of wrestlers, and that's why I think it's like you don't get these kind of wrestlers all the time. I think WWE needs to appreciate them. You got, and just because they're two black guys, you can push both of them at the same time, you know. And I don't think their cup has runneth over like this in a while, where they have two ready-made superstars. So hopefully they do something with those guys. What was the other one you said? My winners, my winner, my loser.
Who I for you right
now? Who's alright for me? I was gonna say, maybe. I think Trick is a little bit better than so I want to give him better than that. I'll say Royce Keys right now. I don't think he's buried initially like I initially thought him going in, but I don't think he's I don't think he's in an enviable position either. I think that the WWE is going to have to figure out a character for him. Hopefully, this stuff he's doing with Solo, something springs from it because it looks like it could be good, you know. And you don't have to worry about him being a monster right now if he's in a role of a heavy or like something like that. So yeah, I'm thinking Royce. That's an upgrade from what I thought a couple months ago about him. So I think he's upgraded a little bit.
And it's funny you say that Royce Keys is I, because on his Titantron is the words I.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, how about you, Jay?
Winner of the month or winners of the month. It's a 3-way tie. I got it for Oba and Trick, for the same reasons that Chris had mentioned, simply because with Trick Williams, you got somebody that's media ready, and WWE is about commercializing everything, sponsorships everywhere. Trick Williams can do that. He brings eyeballs to your product, and that's exactly what you want. You deliver outside the ring as well as inside the ring. Obafemi knocked off your big Brock Lesnar. So you got somebody that's already made as a monster. I just hope he doesn't get overutilized. I mean, like there's something special about him, and you just don't want to, go to the well too many times. You know what I mean? Yeah, you don't want to get having exposed too often. Overexposure is a bad thing. You know what I mean? And of course, I mentioned her earlier, Tekla, and she's been delivering on the promos. She's hilarious. So yeah, she's a winner for the month. My loser of the month is there's a tie. This whole Mads Cruel debacle. Did he get stabbed? Yeah. Did he not get stabbed? Comes out weeks later after the fact, because he's not getting bookings now, allegedly. With this whole thing, I may have been stabbed, I may not have been stabbed, blah, blah, blah. You should have cleaned up the mess earlier, bro. Been a professional and either owned up to it or whatever. He shouldn't have let this play out. This is a bad look on him, a bad look for professional wrestling, a bad look for independent wrestling. And that was trash.
Yeah, he's another word salad guy too. And like, what the hell are you even saying, dude? Sorry about that.
Right. Yeah. He got AI to write that apology or not apology. Make it sound like I'm not guilty, but I am guilty. You know what I'm saying? So, pleading the fifth over here, allegedly.
Right.
And that was again a tie because again, WWE and Commercial Mania. There was so many commercials everywhere. I didn't like the use. I mean, they admitted to the use of AI, which I mean, you can use AI. This is fine. I use it for my job all the time. I use it, for other things as well too. But if you're just clearly depending upon that, that's lazy booking. It's beyond lazy booking. There's no thought to it. There's no soul to it. There's no human aspect behind it, and you can tell behind the product, And it's not the talent. It's behind this the people that are giving the directions behind the scenes that are bringing it over to the talent. So I don't fault the talent at all. I fault the producers and whatnot. And my all right, Carlos Silva, another dude that came out a little too late in explaining why he pulled TNA talent from working with AEW talent. And it came out and it impacted another independent, promotion. He said he tried to make it right. I don't think it was equal, or it was much lesser value. It wasn't equal value.
Right.
And you lost a little bit of respect. If you would have came out and said, "Hey, look, TNA's in a working relationship with WWE," I would have respected that a little bit more. He didn't do it. It's still implied that that's the case, but he's saying it's not the case. But
yeah, why would that not be the case though? It's like you'd rather have. AEW can't, especially when they're doing shit like the MLB and the hockey stuff and all that. They have contracts with those leagues, so when those games come on television, they have to go where the network puts them on the schedule. They didn't maliciously put themselves on Thursday, and he knows this shit too. That's what gets on my nerves about it. It's like, come on, Silva, you're not that stupid. Why don't you just say it's the working relationship with WWE? Call it a fucking day. Move it. It reminds me of all those cats with the taking the Saudi Arabia money. Just say you want the money. Just I don't see what's wrong with that, you know? Like, golly.
And here's the other part too. And this is like, from if you're under a TNA contract, you don't get paid a lot just for TNA TV. You got these outside ventures that you're depending upon to supplement your income. And he took that opportunity away from them. So for that's like, bro, you can do better, man. I get it. Your hands are in it's a bad position, but that's why they pay you the big bucks, player. You gotta make those hard choices. And so just be forthright and upfront about it. That's all I'm saying about it. And yeah. That's all. Those are my three. Who you got, Gerard?
Man, we seem to have a lot of similar people. Oba has probably been my winner each month of the entire year, from the Rumble on down. And hey, rightfully so. The man has been on an upswing. So again, the man is my winner. He is not alone. Because Trick Williams is standing right beside him, for that sheer fact that when I'm getting talked about, when I'm in a meeting and that's getting brought up, and that's who you name it, we've now removed the John Cena's and the Hulk Hogan's. Trick Williams is now the household name that's being said to me in a meeting. Big bet. You are definitely the winner of this month. But I can't say that this is not the only person, because I've been screaming it for a few years now from other shows I've been on to this show. Headlock Takeover has to be the solution to get Darby to win his first world title off of MJF. And that's how it went down beautifully. It didn't waste my time. I was a little tired at that point in the night. So a 2-minute squash, hey, I'm with the 2-minute squash.
I had no problems with it either. So
and shout out to MJF for being willing to not only he's the king of the 2-minute squash in the main event, because he did that for Brody King as well too. So shout out to him for that, because it doesn't hurt his character at all. It actually plays into his character. So
and he did it for Wardlow too.
100% right.
Yeah,
and so like that selfishness. You don't see that. You see that givingness over there, and it feeds the story and it feeds everything. So no, I'm rocking with it. So let's see where things go with that. But those are my big three winners. Now, when it comes to the losers, hey, WrestleMania, take that boot right there, because you need a big boot, because man, that was just trash. That's not the WrestleMania I know. It's not the WrestleMania I grew up on. That's not the WrestleMania I grew up on. That's just also not the WrestleMania of this era. 39 was great. 40 was chill. Like, I was kind of questioning some of them sponsors on some of the matches. Like, why the black folks got the chicken? Like, what we going on with this? What these sponsors we have here? But 41, okay, we starting to question stuff a little bit. 42, we said, hey, who is this? I don't even know you. You act totally different. And so with that regard, WrestleMania, loser of the month. But also, it ain't WrestleMania alone. It's just WWE flat out. Why? Why? Because you got to release people. Because y'all shiesty. Because y'all just about the money and the business and the profit and the numbers. And I'm not about that at this point. Y'all gotta be the losers for that. Y'all cranking out less than stellar product with premium prices. Pull your shit together. Whack as hell. And
They
so another loser. Loser of the month. But my eye, and I'm using the positive side of eye. It's the NXT call-ups, post-Mania NXT call-ups, that is. Because I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing from an Ethan Page. I like what I'm seeing from a Toxic Attraction on SmackDown with a JC Jane and then a Fallon Henley. I like what I'm seeing with I'm forgetting that, Joe Hendry. I know people was putting dirt on the man's name in his concert in Laredo, Texas, but Laredo showed out and showed up, and so I cannot be mad at Joe Hendry. So I'm curious to see where they're going to be moving forward, folks, and can they actually capitalize on these people? Are they going to actually treat these people properly and give them the pushes they deserve and need? Or I'm waiting for the folks that maybe got a great start, but then they have that Carmelo Hayes period where they fall off and disappear, and we got to put them on milk cartons and look out for them. So I want to see what's going to happen with this crop of folks, especially a Ricky Saints. Like, that's the one I'm the most worried about. I know that's Cody's boy. He on SmackDown with Cody, but at the end of the day, that's the one I'm the most worried about because of this stupid vanilla midget nonsense. He's a very talented wrestler, somebody who I've been a big fan of from pretty much just his start in AEW, went back and even saw some of his stuff in the NWA. Excited for some of those moves. Just like Ricky Saints, I would have left him in NXT. And I would have sent Royce Keys to NXT too. Personally, I think they will work better in my favor in my plan.
I agree.
Keeping them together as a tandem to work off each other and build the new gen up until they're called up again. I would have loved that, but okay, they up here now, so we're gonna ride the wave. It's all right. It's all right. And that is my big three. And with that, that is April's edition. The annual. We'd have made it around the whole year. The calendar didn't spun, so next April, look out for year 2 Electric Boogaloo when we get there. But with that said, the anniversary of year 2 Electric Boogaloo. But we're going into year 2, big things. I'm excited to be along with these gentlemen. Our trios partners out, heading on the side mission. So Mr. Two-Way will be back in effect to do his business and contribute his opinions and thoughts, especially some of his live thoughts coming from this past week's Dynamite. I know one thing the man did say he was highly excited to see was that man, Mr. Allen, with his 2 for 50 special coming out the ceiling on his little bungee cord. He said seeing that live in person was something else to behold. So more live thoughts from Two-Way Ray in the nearby future. So check out from Nefarious Media Network. But we're going to spin the block real quick, plug what we need to plug, and we're going to get on this drive for 500. But Professor Chris, what you got for us?
Yeah. So just follow me on Substack. I'm almost at 3,000 subscribers and 300, almost at 300 paid subscribers. I started a Nefarious Substack. It hasn't gone live yet. And it's called Nefarious Notes. I'm thinking like it might go live Monday with the first article, and you'll catch our musings in written form over there. And then hopefully what I'm trying to do is flood the zone with our logo, so we could get this algorithm in our favor. And then I think I'm gonna be working press in San Jose. Hopefully Jarek, I'll see him out there. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the summer. Looking forward to some wrestling stuff in the summer more than others, but right now, I'm trying to stay optimistic, especially when it comes to WWE after that WrestleMania. And I'm still not in an optimistic space about them yet. So hopefully, that changes.
All right. Well, hey, I'm feeling you with that optimism. We hoping for the best, but man, I do see that downslide. But hey,
Mhm.
that's why we here to uplift the content and the energy in the space. And so with that, hey, hot tag on over to Jay. What you got for us, man?
Yes, sir. You can catch me on the Nefarious Media Network platforms, Instagram at Jarek, all caps underscore wins. Same handle on Blue Sky. And I just opened up a Twitch channel. Got the handle. So same handle. So I will be posting on there in the very near future. We've talked about getting some exclusive Patreon content. So keep it locked. We got some ideas generating. We're gonna do that as well too. And if you're listening in real time tomorrow night, I will be on the post wrestling show with our good friend Kate from Montreal on Collision Course. So I'll be doing that tomorrow night as well, and just breaking that down. AEW's Collision Course, and yeah, that's what I got. And of course, all the other Nefarious Media shows that we have going on here: the Parlay, Kings of Sport, um, all things Nefarious. That's where you'll find me. So that's what I got.
Let's rock. And same with me. You can find me at Brown First of his name on Instagram. But outside of that, you can find me right here on the drive for 500 at the Nefarious Media Network. But what does that mean? The drive for 500? That means 500 Patreon subscribers. That means 500 YouTube subscribers. Help us be able to put some more work behind our production, be able to pay some people, and to be able to bring other people on that can help us make this the network that it needs to and can flourish into. And so jump on, become a part. It's free on YouTube. So all you gotta do is just hit that subscribe. Then you go hear the horns playing for you too, just like that horn played just for a second ago. But nah, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share. We got coming up. We're gonna have the King of Sports. We're gonna have Parlay coming up. So subscribe to us on Blue Sky. Follow us on Instagram. We everywhere. We even we on the tweet, as the Dusty said at one point. It was one of my favorite Dusty Rhodes lines from his modern era. He was in a ring with a Stephanie McMahon with that whole lead up to a Battlegrounds. He was like, "So I saw on the tweet that," and I was like, "The tweet, the tweet, man." Tell me you don't know Twitter without telling me you don't know Twitter. He said, "On the tweet." All right, Dusty. There you go. And so catch us on the tweet, catch us everywhere. But hey, that's it. That's a wrap. We'll catch you on the next one. Get out of class, go enjoy the summer, but make sure you do your homework too. Peace and chicken grease.